Hello YouTube, Mellow here. It's been a while, but we're actually back for some Zero deck profiles again. We are getting close to it on the global side, so I thought I'd cover it on the JP side, because obviously that's where I got the cards. And we're here with Magnolia this time. Our event is starting on the 1st of October for global. So we're going to cover it on the JP side. And so here we go. So we'll start off, we are going to do the deck list first, then the usual 2 games afterwards, see how they go. Alright, to start off with, we have got the starter, Silverhorn Beast Lot. Skill is you can return a grade 1 from your hand back to your drop zone, back to your deck. Then search for Silverhorn Beast Charis from your deck and ride it onto your Vanguard circle. Can't ride for the rest of the turn. And its second skill is when you ride on up to Silverhorn Beast King Magnolia, you can banish this card from your soul to then look at the top card of your deck and call it to rearguard circle. So it encompasses Lattice's effect from and Charis's effect from the TCG. That actually brings it into 0, which is really nice. 3 units are always nice. Next up, we do run 4 copies of Cable Sheet. I do run the new style ones because Magnolia is quite a bit of counter blast behind it, so you do need the counter blast to work with. So new style means you're not going to be counter blast denied by the crypt denial decks. Next up, we do run 2 copies of the Taping Cat, which is Soul Blast 2 to then draw Soul Blast 2 to counter charge 2 if I remember correctly. I was right the first time. Soul Blast 2 to counter charge 1. So obviously it fills up the drop zone, you get rid of your dead parts you don't need. Nice little bit of draw power where needed, because we do run Legion as our backups. So we do have that for filling up drop zone in case we need it for Legion. Next up, we do have 3 copies of Calling Duckbill. Calling Duckbill is when it's placed on rearguard circle, choose one of your other rearguards and it gets the skill. When this unit is retired, you may then draw a card. Simple, to the point. We do run some retire in the forms of Leopold and Binoculus. So having that there gives a nice little extra bit of draw power. Also, we do have the Guru Tiger, which does retire as well, so enough targets to warrant actually running Duckbill, but not enough to have it as a 4-off staple. Next up, I do run 4 copies of Silverhorn Beast Charis, one of the new cards. His skill is Vanguard Circle. During your ride phase, you can put a grade 2 from your hand back to the top of your deck. Then you may search your deck for a Silverhorn Beast Lattice and then ride it onto your Vanguard Circle. You cannot ride for the rest of the turn. Second skill is from the back row rearguard circle. If when this attacks your opponent's Vanguard, it gets power plus 3000. So you use this in combination with Magnolia's skill itself to actually get the full-on pressure of your this attack from the back row. Gets to give a nice little bit of can get breakthrough, because obviously you are still going to be reliant on some form of triggers because defensives aren't nice. But it's that little bit of help that it's going to try and give you. Grade 2s are there on 4 copies of the Guru Wolf. Skill is when this unit attack hits the Vanguard, you can draw a card if this unit's power is plus 2000. Really good card, going to be a long time stable in Great Nature. You have got, obviously, you can use Magnolia to give 5000 to one of the boosters for it, so you can obviously hit 20k that way, which is a really nice way to manipulate Magnolia's skill. And you can also obviously use Guru Tiger, restand in the Wolf, make it a 20k column so it hits the Vanguard and draws you the card. Next up, we do run 4 copies of Binoculus Tiger. Binoculus Tiger is Vanguard rearguard circle when this unit attacks. You can choose one of your other units, it gets power plus 4000. At the end of the turn, you then retire that card. So use this for helping your column scale, allowing other units to actually hit where needed, and create a nice bit of pressure from your multi-attacks. You can obviously use the next card to combo with it really well, because obviously it's Silverhorn Beast Gnostiler. Gnostler's skill is back row rearguard circle. When this unit attacks, you can counter blast 1. Choose one of your other one of your other high beasts in your back row, and it gets power equal to the power of this unit. It does include any scaling effects that you've done, like triggers, Magnolia's power, Binoculus power. They all stack up, and you can then pass it on to another back row rearguard. does help to try and get your other units to actually put the pressure on the Vanguard and still hit. Or in some circumstances, you can use it to give power to a boost to then boost a big attack on the Vanguard. Next up, we do only run one copy of this because it is very costly. It's Silverhorn Beast Lattice. Its skill is the same as the grade. First one is the same as the grade 0 and 1 of during your ride phase, you can return a grade 3 from your hand back to your deck to then search your deck for a Silverhorn Beast King Magnolia and ride it onto your Vanguard circle. Not ride for the rest of the turn. So obviously you can utilise this putting heals that you've accidentally drawn or extra draw triggers you've got in your hand to get the Magnolia you specifically want to ride. Second skill is back row rearguard circle. When this unit attacks, you can Soul Blast one, it gets power plus 5,000. It's not amazing for the fact of obviously it's Soul Blasting one, which is a very, very heavy resource, and you're only getting 5,000 out of it, so the moment they hit a defensive, with Magnolia's power, this isn't going to hit. So, it's not amazing, unfortunately. On to the grade 3s now. We do have 4 copies of Guru Tiger as our Legion backup. Its skill is Vanguard Circle. You can discard a card with the same name as it on your Vanguard Circle whilst in Legion. Choose 2 of your rearguards and they get the skill. When this unit is retired from your rearguard circle, you may call it back to the rearguard circle and then countercharge one and draw a card. So really good, helps build your resources back up. But we don't massively go for this because obviously it's being our backup. Second skill is Vanguard Circle. When this unit attacks, if you've got a unit in the same column as this card, you can Count Blast 2 to choose one of your rearguards, stand it, give it power plus 4,000 and the skill of end of the turn you retire this unit. So obviously it's your multi-attack enabler for if you can't find your Magnolia. It still puts a lot of pressure on in the deck, but it's not the main focus of the deck. We do run a one-off copy of Honorary Professor Chat Noir, where if things really, really go south and we've missed the entire chain, this still can apply a nice little bit of draw power to help you try and dig and find your Magnolias to go off with. Its skill is Limit Break 4. When your unit is rode upon this card, you can give it 10,000 power and the skill of Vanguard Circle. When one of your units attacks, you may choose a unit to give it power plus 4,000. At the end of the turn, you then draw a card and retire this unit. This does stack, so obviously, say for example, you have Binoculus and Guru Tiger. Both of them attacking Vanguard. Guru Tiger can give the Binoculus can give 4k to the Guru Tiger, and then when Guru Tiger attacks, Guru Tiger can give power to Guru Tiger. End of the turn, you draw 2, but you only have to retire once. So it does work really nicely. And its second skill is when it attacks Vanguard, give it plus 3k. So simple effect. The second part. For our heal, we do actually run School Hunter Leopold. Leopold's got the skill of once per turn, you can Counter Blast 1, and this unit gets the skill. All your units get the skill of when its unit is retired, you may recall it back to Rearguard Circle. And second skill is the Vanguard Rearguard Circle. When its unit attacks, you can choose one of your units, give it power plus 4,000. End of the turn, it gets the skill of end of the turn retire. Until the end of the turn, it gets the skill of end of the turn, you retire this unit. So same as Binoculus for the second skill. First one is very, very, very niche. You really don't use it at all. And might as well cover the boss unit now because it is the last grade 3 on the list. Silverhorn Beast King Magnolia. Magnolia's got the Persona Ride skill. So what Persona Ride is, when you ride Magnolia on top of Magnolia, you get power plus 5,000 to your Vanguard and you get to draw a card. Obviously, it is slightly nerfed from the TCG version, but that's to deal with the fact of the power scaling between Overdress and Zero. Magnolia's main skill is you can Counter Blast 2 at the end of the battle this unit attacked. Choose one of your units and one of your High Beast units, sorry, and it gets power plus 3,000 and can attack from the back row. If you Persona Road this turn, you can choose 3 of your High Beast units instead, and they get the skills. So obviously, Counter Blast 2 to let one of your attack from the back row is not too bad, because it's the same sort of principle as with the Legion. Obviously, it creates 4 attacks. This then creates 4 attacks. Second skill, obviously, the second part of it, obviously, if you Persona Road, it gets to create 6 attacks. but you're only really going to do 6 attacks if they're on 5 damage and you're going to go PG, 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 PG check. That's literally the only way you're going to really deal with 6 attacks, unless you've got other units then combo off. But it then does cost more counterblast, so you do have to be very careful. Overall, really fun deck, and I shall catch you guys when we find a game. Right, and we are now back with the game. We have got Shadow Paladin, so this is likely going to be Mordred with Raging, not Raging Form, Ranger Phantom Blast Dragon Abyss, Peanut Butter Dragon. So opening hand, not the best. We have technically I've got our 1, 2, 3, so we can only need to put this back. We can keep the rest and obviously use the starter to fix the lines. We've redrawn into a Persona ride, so we've got a nice consistent ride going forward. We're going first, so obviously we'll return Duckbill. We want to keep our PGs because we've got no way of searching them. So by keeping them in hand, we're in a really good position because he is going to apply pressure really fast. We haven't got the ability to apply as much pressure until we actually hit our grade 3 turn. Obviously, calls down Masquerade. This looks to be a really old version because he's using the 10k and 12k attackers, which is a bit weird. We've got the Gnosla, which is good. I'm going to hold on to it because it's going to be a key part of our multi-attack turns. So we're then going to swing Vanguard to Vanguard. Hope to hit some draw triggers soon. Nope, we need to be a PG. Obviously, this deck is very, very piece reliant. You do need to get certain pieces at certain times to go up, otherwise you're not going to be doing much. Gnosla is very heavily a Persona, use its skill on your Persona ride turns to apply more pressure. But you can use it as an inset when needed, which I'll more than likely have to do this turn, unless the top deck from Lot's skill does give me something really nice. So it calls down. Oh, we're against crit Paladins. Okay. So first check's nothing. Second check is a draw trigger, which does mean we're staying at 3 now, thankfully, because that can't then hit. But drawing all these heals isn't a good sign. What I'm actually thinking of doing is what I'll do. See what this gives me first. Okay, that's something we can work with. Yeah, I've got no boosters, so I can't fully work with it, but we'll see what we can do. Just thinking, is it worth the Magnolia this turn? And honestly, looking at my hand, I don't think it is worth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. Bring this into this. I'm then going to swing Magnolia. Hopefully get some triggers. Nope. Wait, see what he does. I'm not going to use Magnolia's skill because it's not worth it. Swing in. Can't use its skill on itself. So we just ping and pass. We shouldn't die this turn because of the fact that he hasn't got enough drop zone to fully utilise the Phantom Blast Dragon unless he's going to mass overcall his entire hand. Although, actually saying that, he hasn't even got the Counter Blast to properly go off with, so that'll be interesting. He swings 10k intercept is slightly annoying, but obviously I can deal with that a bit better. We do hit our last heal, which is a bit of a downside. First check, nothing from him. Second check, he does heal, but obviously he doesn't actually heal because he's on less damage than us. So we do go back up to 4. We do hit a draw trigger, which is really nice. And we finally hit a booster. That booster was key. So what we're actually going to do is I'm actually going to Persona Ride here. We draw into another PG. That actually is really, really good for us. We're going to pop you here. You here. And you here. So what we'll do is battle phase. This attacks this, using its skill to give power to the tiger. Go, yeah, go tiger. That attacks that. First check, nothing. Second check, nothing. We will use Magnolia's skill. Give the power to the units. We'll then use your skill to pass your power over to little Charis himself. Yep, it was worth the passing because otherwise we wouldn't have hit. So we want this one here, so it boosts and breaks over defensive. That then dies. Next turn, I can now re-ride Legion 3 heals back in because I can overcall this. Because I won't need the Gnossel in the back row. We do live this turn no matter what, for the fact of he hasn't got enough to... He's literally having to overcall to fill up his drop zone now. And with how he's playing, he hasn't got enough resources to do what he wants to do. Especially now he's doing that, yeah. Actually, we do need a... Oh, no, we do need a defensive. How many are we at? Yeah, I've got one heal still left in deck, which is good. But only 3 triggers overall, so chances of surviving he's going to... Okay, he's overcalled there. That's actually better for us then, because... This unit here now can't actually hit the Vanguard. It's 10 to our 11, so unless he calls another card down from hand, which leaves him with a 1 card hand, which is even better for us. Yeah, he's leaving himself with a 1 card hand, which is fine. No trigger, okay. Obviously, we forced the PG out of him. But he forced the PG out of us. He'll swing in here. Unfortunately, with him being crit based, chances of us... He does whiff a heal, that's fine. As long as we don't see any crits from him, we can still rely on our last heal to actually hit, and we can then Legion back in and go off. So he retires 3 units to restand. Draws 2. Swings in. Whiffs another heal, which is really good. Second check is a draw trigger. That's fine as well. We are reliant on our heal now, though. We do hit our heal. We are still in this. And we hit a PG. Right. Thought process. This is going to be our do or die turn. I think it's pretty much given at this point. So what we'll do is we are going to ride. We'll do that. That swings in. Well, we're going to Legion first no matter what. Putting heal, PG, and draw trigger back to deck. But I think we do have to double PG check him, which does mean we have got to do that. He has to re-Legion again to actually do his Revenge of Phantom Blast nonsense. We do that there. Do that, so we force that. That's fine. Draw trigger. Perfect reason why we place the PG down. So that now guarantees breaking over defensive. This will then stand. That column then breaks over defensives as well. Heal trigger. Nice. That goes off. And draw trigger as well. There's 1 PG. Did he, off all those draws, actually hit his second PG? He did not. Forcing a heal from him now. And game 1 is a win to us. I shall see you guys back once we've found game 2. Right, game 2, and we have got Royal Paladins here. likely going to be the Magilord Blaster because he is the known face that's back again on the scene. Uses to fight. Alright, looking at hand, we've got good combos to work with, so I'm actually going to return double heal. There we go. So I can keep the Duckbill now, which is what I mainly wanted to do. And if we can top deck into another grade 2, I can go full combos off and actually get a lot of draw power going. For the memes of it, we'll chuck the Charis back to ride the Charis. And we then pass turn. Obviously, us drawing the Leopold now is actually really good, because obviously we can then return the heal instead of having to return Magnolia for Magnolia. Keeps us having the Persona Ride in hand. We do actually see also now that he's actually the Seeker one, so he's more likely to be Alfred Exiv. So constant crit pressure that way. Ideally, I think he wanted to go first for the fact of obviously Lake Maiden Lien would have obviously got a rest, ditch, and draw. Talking of draws, we do hit a draw, which gives us the Gnossler, so we can actually full-on combo off now. Not this turn, next turn, because obviously this turn is not worth it to us. So we return the Gnossler back to deck. To ride the Lattice. We then swing Glasses at face. Next turn we can drop the Binoculus, the Guru Wolf, and the Duckbill, so we can get a lot of draw power going. There's the Blaster Blade. With another Blaster Blade. Is he going to chuck a third one down? Nope. Which is actually perfect for us then. The first check for him is a draw trigger. So it guarantees he's now going to break over our defensive. If we hit one, which we don't. It will be nice now though, game please. So we don't get rushed too hard. Nope, we do lose a PEG instead. We draw into another Binoculus, which is really good for the following turn. Okay, we still blast that. What do we get? We get Gnossler. That's actually really, really good plays. I actually really like that play. So what we can do now instead is we get this, and we get to this. Use this skill on little Gnossler. Battle phase. This swings at this, using its skill to give power to the Gnosslers, and it will then retire, which will then activate Duckbill's skill. Magnolia then attacks next. First check, nothing. Second check, nothing. That's fine. No issues there. No defensive. Beautiful. His skill giving power to the Gnossler. The Gnossler then swings in, using its skill, passing the power to the Duckbill. Duckbill's boosting the Guru target. Wolf then swings in. Unfortunately, he does hit a heal, but we draw because of the Guru. Then obviously that dies off. And we draw a card for the Duckbill, which gives us another Persona Ride. So we have got some combo pieces to work with for next time, which is really good. We might not be able to do... Oh, he's had to ride Gance a lot. That's very interesting. Because he can't physically kill us for the fact of obviously he can't gain double crit. The 9k base is a lot more fun for us to actually work with. Why did he ride that when he's got Alfred Exiv in hand? Okay. He wants to push us to 5 quickly, which I've got no issues if he wants to do that. So we see a draw trigger coming down from him, with nothing. So we do take 2 damage here. First check's a Charis, second check is a Gnossler, so no heal, so we do need something to actually work with next turn. We get a Charis. Right, thought process going forward. So let's put Yeah, so what we're going to do is we are going to Persona Ride. So I've now got 2 Counter Blasts to work with, so Magnolia is live again. That was an amazing top deck. Are you the keyword I need? Compare? No, it's not. Right. So what we're going to have to do is it's going to be this, this, and this. Yep. So this then swings at this, using its skill, giving power to little Charis. This then needs to swing in next. First check to draw. So we're giving power to Charis again. Skill activates, we give power to 1, 2, 3 units here. Charis then swings in like that. That's fine. And then we swing in boosted here. So we want the boost. We're not going to bother with its skill because we don't need to retire anything. Force check the PG. We've got double PG in hand. We're not in a bad spot for next turn. He physically can't kill us because he can't retire both intercepts and remove both PGs because he's a 3 attack deck. There we go, there's Sacred Wingle. So he's going to be grabbing an intercept from his deck this turn for free. More than likely going to be Blaster Blade Seeker, so he can then take out one of my intercepts. Turning 2 draws, a Blaster Blade Seeker and a PG, which I've got no issues with any of that. Because of how things are, we know he's only got 2 heals max left in deck. So Seeker Sacred Wingle does his job. We are going to be 3 attacks next turn because we are now officially out of Counter Blast, so we're not going to be any better than he is. He's using that to grab his intercept, so he's got stuff to actually do. We do need to draw intercepts for turn ideally. What's our drop zone looking like actually? We haven't seen any heals yet, which is a key part. He is going to force double PG out of our hand. He did use the skill. I am debating the Legion itself next turn. So I can actually put some stuff back, some triggers back to deck. Yep, takes that intercept. Swings the face. He gets met with the PG. Then swings the face again. First check's nothing. Second check, he does hit his heal, so that is very annoying. That now means he's got a Blaster Blade attack for next turn. Yep, I think I'm going to go for the Legion, but actually, so I can just so I can Legion PGs back in. Because I want to try and draw into what I can. So, actually, before I do that, what's my deck looking like? So, yeah, 4 heals, 2 draws. Okay. So, we're going to Legion. Draw the PG. And we are going to put Binoculars back in because it's an intercept at this point. I think my smart play is to actually not deal him a damage, so he then can't. We are being very, very risky. But if I swing intercept, what a heals is the honest response here. He now can't use. He's got no counter blasts, and if he drive checks a heal here, he doesn't go back down to 4 again. Oh. Apologies, but I thought my phone was on charge, but apparently it wasn't. So we do see him ride Exiv. That means he's got to call his entire hand back down to field to actually be units. There's the Dance Slot going back to for a Blaster Blade. Because without those units, he's not going to be able to get his critical. As far as he knows, we could be sitting on a PG in hand. With how we played. So he returns heal. So he intercepts back. You can't use Exiv to get an intercept from Dex. It needs 2 counter blasts again. So that denial was really key for us. There's a Blaster Blade. It also only counts Seekers for its plus 2k. For its plus 1k. There we go. He's got his crit, but he's also shown that he's now got no PGs in hand. And we then go with him with this. We've got 3 heals in deck, so as long as we can hit 3 of them, we should be able to get through this. There's the first heal. Obviously, everything goes to Vanguard. We now need a double heal off this again. First check's nothing from him. Second check's nothing. Do we hit 2 more heals is the question. We've got 18 card deck with... Nope, we don't hit enough heals. So that is it, and I shall see you guys in a minute. Alright, and those were the games. As you can see, it is very, very piece reliant and can easily be shut down by any form of defensives, any form of run removal. It's not the best, unfortunately. It's fun to play around with. I do enjoy the games I get played with it on the ladder and it works. So, if you enjoy the deck, I'd say go for it. It is a free deck. It's not like you're sacrificing anything to not pick the deck up. But it's lots of fun, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. But that is it for this video. If you haven't done so already, please do like, comment, subscribe. It very much does help the channel. Let me know what your thoughts are on Magnolia. Are you hyped for the tower event? How's, because of the timing this is going up, how's the Neonectar event going for you? I will leave that video linked at the end, because I know you guys in Global are wanting as much support as you can get for getting these events, for what to aim for with these events. And I'll just catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye!